There is a particular kind of weight that settles over you when you no longer know what comes next. When the ground you thought was solid begins to shift beneath your feet. Maybe it is a job that suddenly disappeared, a relationship that unraveled without warning, a diagnosis that changed everything in a single conversation. Or perhaps you cannot even point to one specific thing. It is just this creeping, quiet unease that has moved in and made itself at home in your chest. The feeling that nothing is certain anymore, that you are standing in the middle of something you cannot see the edges of, and the safety you once took for granted is simply gone. If that is where you are right now, I want you to know you are not weak for feeling this way. Uncertainty is one of the most disorienting experiences a human being can live through. It is exhausting to hold a question mark where you used to have an answer. It is frightening to reach for something solid and find only open air. And into that exact kind of moment, into that exact kind of fear, the book of Isaiah speaks with a tenderness that is almost hard to believe. Listen to these words from Isaiah, chapter 41. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God, I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Did you hear what was not said there? There was no promise that the uncertainty would immediately lift. No guarantee that the situation would resolve quickly or the way you hoped. What was offered was something quieter than that, and in some ways, something far more sustaining. I am with thee. Not I will fix everything before morning. Not I will make sure nothing hard ever finds you again. Simply, I am with thee. Present tense. Right here, right now in the middle of the not knowing. That matters more than we sometimes realize. Because when fear has its grip on us, what we are often most desperate for is not an instant answer. It is to not be alone inside the question. To have someone sit with us in the uncertainty rather than rushing to fill the silence with solutions that do not hold. And the word dismayed in that verse carries its own weight. In the original language, it carries the sense of being shattered, of looking around in all directions and finding no steady place to land. That is such an honest description of what anxiety and uncertainty can feel like. This frantic searching for something safe to hold on to and coming up empty. To that person, to you, if that is where you are, the response is not a scolding. It is not a lecture about trust or a reminder that you should be doing better. It is a hand extended. I will strengthen thee. I will help thee. I will uphold thee. Think about what it means to be upheld. It is not you white-knuckling your way through. It is not you finding some reserve of courage you did not know you had. It is being held up by something other than your own strength. Like a child who has gone limp with exhaustion and is simply carried, not because they performed well enough to deserve it, but because they are loved and they are not alone. There is a woman I am thinking of who once described her hardest season this way. She said it felt like trying to walk on water and sinking every single day. And what finally helped her was not when the waters calmed. It was when she stopped trying to walk on her own and let herself be carried through. That is what this verse is offering you, not a road map out of uncertainty, not a promise that clarity is just around the corner, but a presence, a hand beneath you, a voice that says, you do not have to hold yourself up right now. I have you. You are allowed to rest in that, even if the questions are still unanswered. Even if tomorrow looks exactly as unclear as today does. The steadiness being offered here does not depend on your circumstances becoming stable. It depends on something, someone, who does not shift or waver, even when everything around you does. So if you are carrying something heavy today, if uncertainty has taken up too much space in your mind, and your body is tired from the vigilance of it, let these words find you where you are. You are not alone in the not knowing. You are held. Wherever this finds you today, whether you are in the thick of something painful or simply carrying a low hum of worry you cannot quite name, I hope these words have offered even a small measure of rest to your heart. You do not have to have it all figured out. You do not have to pretend the fear is not real. You are allowed to bring all of it, exactly as it is, and simply be held. If this brought you any comfort, I would love for you to subscribe so we can keep bringing you scripture and peace, one gentle day at a time. And if someone in your life is navigating a season of uncertainty right now, would you consider passing this along to them? Sometimes the right words at the right moment are exactly what a weary heart needs. And if you have something on your heart today, a situation, a person, a fear you have been carrying quietly, you are welcome to share it in the comments below. This is a community that prays together, and no request is too small or too broken to bring. Be gentle with yourself today. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. And you are deeply, quietly loved.